So if you're looking at it as a voter right now, you know, I start to see how there's some people that, you know, get a little bit kind of like, you know what? Yeah, let's have a civil war. I'm not. I think it would be the most terrifying puzzle. I'm not one of those people at all.
Especially as a Canadian.
Especially as I don't live there. Especially as I don't live there. You know, I don't.
Exactly.
I don't want to. All these people that every time there's an election talk about moving to Canada. I don't want them actually here. You know, so if there's a civil war, I think a lot of them would come. So, but there, you know, there's a number. I think there. But like,
who's saying that? Who's saying let's have a civil war?
No, I think maybe they're not saying it, but it's like there's a lot of people, you know, talking tough, and I don't.
Sure.
And they're not really providing a model for how to get the change they want, other than just like destroying the enemy. You know, in some way or another. But the thing is, it's like and there was a lot of talk about civil war, potential civil war, whatever, leading up to this election. I don't know how real it was or how much it was just to sell ad clicks online, but I was seeing it mentioned, people talking about it. What happens if he doesn't leave office?
I've seen that.
And what happens if the military's divided? And what happens if blah, blah, blah. I mean, the thing that's crazy, though, is like civil wars tend to be fought over who holds power in the country, right? It's like an attempt to overthrow power. But I feel like, you know, the kind of way I see a lot of people talking about on here is like the real power brokers aren't in the sites at all. They're like the right is going to take back America. No idea who it's going to take it back from, or to what moment exactly it's going to go back to, or whatever. It's just like it's just this kind of broad thing. And then the left, there's some very important critique.
You're asking for specifics, and you're asking for people to speak and be serious about their words, and I'm afraid we're so far beyond that now. You know, the discourse in this country is just kind of loose phrases and terms and marketing. And I'm afraid it really, the example for it, the problem is, I mean, we talked about this. We talked about for our podcast, one of the things we wanted to do is simply have a good conversation on camera. And
that's
to show what it could look like.
That's your favorite line. But yeah.
That is one of my favorite lines.
Yeah. I just want a good conversation.
No, because it's important. Because and you said you don't want conversation. So I'm interested. I got to go back to that.
I'm mad. No, I'm saying a bunch of stuff I probably don't believe. Mad at? I'm saying a bunch of stuff I probably don't believe. I'm mad because I spent most of today reading journalism about Biden's. I did the finger quotes there. Yeah. About Biden's.
I caught that.
About Biden's new cabinet, and it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying.
So listen, the stuff
that's
you're
why
reading.
I'm mad. So I said no. I'm done with conversation. Blah blah. I only when I said that I was referring only to I'm done with the society, the spectacle where we're just worried about the word choice and the tone, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I want to have the conversation. I do want to have the conversation. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, Billy. I know
you do want to have the conversation.
I know. I'm sorry,
Thank you.
Billy.
You do want to.
I know that must have hurt when I said that because that's your favorite. That's one of your favorite things.
I wrote it down. Yeah, come back to it.
I was being provocative. This is why I wore my nice shirt. This is why I wore my shirt that so that it would kind of soften some of the blows. As I lost it. I'm
not mad at you, bro.
Okay,
listen. The conversation. The problem is that when you talk about civil war or any kind of like a violent act, to me that's a conversation going awry. That's all it is. Now the conversation went to blows because we weren't able to communicate well. And I want to say that we as a country have failed to communicate well for generations in so many ways, just subtle norms about like when to talk about politics and blah, blah, not on the first date. It's like all these like silly things. And you don't talk religion.
How many times
and
did you
don't
get
talk
told on first dates to stop talking about politics? That happened to you a lot?
No, I have a good, you too, I imagine. Like I've got a good like, thankfully, I think I'm just on the edge where I'm actually good at watching social cues or whatever, where I can catch it. So yeah, I'll stop myself. I can just tell if things aren't there. But
I think when I brought up the Civil War thing, it wasn't started to be like, yeah, let's do that. It was more like,
no.
It's so absurd. It's so absurd that we're talking about, like, even as people bring guns to protests and things like that, to talk about this in terms of a civil war is absurd to me, because every other civil war that I've ever looked at or that I know of, which are most of them are in Latin America, they're the ones I'm familiar with, the fight at the end of the day is about like really big questions about how government runs, ideology. Is it going to be a capitalist economic system? Is it going to be a communist economic system? Big stuff at play that's going to be fought, right? Whereas like this one, like if this was to go national, like the kind of violence that we see in some of these protests, if it was to go national, it's like, it's not even, it looks more like a national bar fight, right? Between Ravens fans and Patriots fans, where like nobody's really sure what victory would mean, or, you know, what they would do if they killed everybody on the other team. You know, it's like there's no clarity about anything about, you know, what you would do if you actually had the power, and who has the power, or any of that stuff.